Imagine you're living in the late 800s. Word spreads across Europe, the Vikings are coming. Entire monasteries burn, kings flee, coastal towns empty overnight. Among these fearsome Norse warriors was a giant of a man named Rollo. He arrived as an enemy, yet within one generation, he became one of Europe's greatest noblemen. Within 2 centuries, his descendants ruled England, Scotland, southern Italy, Jerusalem, and eventually, almost every royal family in Europe could trace ancestry back to him. For genealogists, this story is pure gold. Like many Viking leaders, Rollo's early life is wrapped in legend. Later Icelandic sagas claim he came from Norway. Frankish sources are less certain. Modern historians generally agree he was Scandinavian, but exactly where remains debated. What everyone agrees upon, he was extraordinarily successful. The Frankish Empire was weakening. After the death of Charlemagne, the empire fractured. Vikings exploited this weakness brilliantly. Instead of quick raids, some began staying. They wintered in occupied territory, established permanent camps. Eventually they demanded land instead of loot. One of history's most famous Viking campaigns was the Siege of Paris. Although historians debate whether Rollo personally led part of the siege, he was certainly active during this era. The siege demonstrated something important. The Franks could no longer simply defeat Viking armies. Sometimes paying them became easier. King Charles faced a dilemma. Rollo couldn't be defeated easily. So he made one of history's boldest political moves. He offered Rollo land. In exchange, Rollo would defend France from other Vikings. The fox became the guard dog. This treaty created what became known as Normandy, the land of the Northmen. Northmen became Normans. This wasn't merely a peace treaty. It created an entirely new people. Viking warriors, French language, Christian religion, feudal nobility, all blended together. Part of the agreement required Rollo to become Christian. He accepted baptism. Although medieval writers suggest he remained somewhat Viking in personality, some chronicles even claim he quietly continued Norse customs. Whether entirely true or not, it illustrates how cultural transitions rarely happen overnight. Legend tells us that after signing the treaty, Rollo was expected to kiss the king's foot. He refused. Instead, he ordered one of his warriors to do it. The Viking lifted the king's foot so high, Charles supposedly fell backward. Whether true or not, the story perfectly captures Norman independence. Now comes the genealogy. This single bloodline transformed Europe. Every generation strengthened Norman power, until one descendant forever changed England. Roughly 150 years after Rollo accepted Normandy, his great-great-great-grandson invaded England. In 1066, William defeated King Harold. The Norman conquest permanently reshaped English history, language, government, architecture, and law. Even thousands of English surnames all bear Norman influence today. This is where genealogy becomes fascinating. Once William conquered England, his descendants intermarried across Europe. Royal families constantly married one another. Within centuries, Rollo's DNA spread throughout nearly every royal house. Few medieval nobles left a larger genetic footprint. Today, if someone descends from medieval European nobility, there's a remarkably good chance Rollo appears somewhere in their family tree. Could you descend from Rollo? Possibly, if your ancestry includes English, Scottish, French, Irish, or colonial American lines connected to early European settlers, the mathematical odds become surprisingly favorable. This doesn't make anyone royal. It reflects how ancestry expands exponentially across 1,000 years. Here's where genealogists must be careful. Many online trees proudly claim descent from Rollo. Some are correct, many are not. A legitimate lineage requires documentation, generation by generation, without gaps. This is exactly why evidence matters more than exciting stories. Rollo began life as an outsider. He was a feared Viking warrior. He became Duke of Normandy. His descendants conquered kingdoms, created dynasties, influenced European politics for centuries, and left one of history's most remarkable genealogical legacies. Few individuals demonstrate the power of one family tree better than Rollo.